Welcome back to the vlog. Sorry guys, I don't mean to get so emotional.
All I can think about is how much I'm craving Taco Bell. You can accomplish anything you want.
We are admitting.
I think that's a house.
What's the point of making money if you're not gonna spend a little bit on yourself? I'm officially done with an entire month of working nights. Welcome back, vlog. It's my fourth and final week of nights. Let's make it a good week. Say welcome back to the vlog, Chip. Hello.
Hey, Chewy.
Bye, Mom. All right, guys, I'm at the hospital. I had a pretty nice weekend off. Saturday, I got off in the morning, so I was basically spending the whole day fighting, the urge to go to sleep. I basically just played video games most of the day. I went to the dog park for a few hours and, spent some quality time with my pups. Sunday, I went and trained some tricking and tumbling. I also went to the Golden Knights hockey game, which was fun. They won, so that was awesome. And then my brother and I went and had dinner and played some roulette and craps after, so it was a pretty fun weekend. Today, though, I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I could not fall back asleep, so I spent the day doing chores. I went to the gym for a couple hours, and I took like an hour and a half nap at like 4 o'clock. So I definitely did not get enough sleep going into this shift, which sucks because we admit tonight. We actually admit 3 days this week, tonight, Wednesday, and Friday night. Hopefully it's not too rough of a week. Honestly, the fact that this is my last week on nights is kind of bittersweet. On one hand, I'm really excited to get back to a normal daytime schedule. On the other hand, I've actually been enjoying my night shifts. Like, there's something kind of relaxing about being at the hospital at night when there's like less people and a little bit less going on. I also really like my co-residents, which I think has been the common theme amongst my difficult rotations in residency so far. It's pretty insane how much of a difference just being surrounded by good people can make when you're on these tough rotations. Anyway, that's enough yapping. I need to go meet with the day teams for sign out and then get ready for our admission shift. All right, we are a few hours into the admitting shift. One of my admissions is a patient who is here with atrial fibrillation, aka AFib. It's when the upper chambers of the heart are not beating in coordination with the lower chambers. This can be a non-issue and something that you can live with, especially if the heart rate is controlled. But if it's not controlled and you go into something called rapid ventricular response, which means that the ventricles are, rapidly contracting, right? That's bad because that means they're not filling up with enough blood to actually, deliver proper amounts of blood to the rest of your body. So that's a reason to get admitted to the hospital. And for that, we try to control your heart rate with some medications. We try that for a bit. And if patients don't convert out of RVR with the medications, then we might have to deliver a shock to reset the heart rhythm. Sounds scary, but this is actually something we see in the hospital all the time. And the nice thing about AFib with RVR is the treatment is very algorithmic. And so we do it enough times that we get pretty used to it. Anyway, I have some charting to catch up on, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, puppies. Hello. All right, guys, so I decided to do a little run after I got off work. If you can get yourself to do hard stuff like this, you can literally do anything in life. You can push yourself to do anything. Now, obviously the motivation varies day by day. I'm feeling motivated, even though we admitted last night. Tomorrow, I might not feel motivated. We'll see. But I really should be, because I have 5 weeks until my full marathon. So I really gotta force myself here. All right, let's finish this run. More puppies. Hi, puppies. All right, run is done. Ended up doing 7 miles, which is pretty good considering I worked overnight. I was actually on fire during my run, as you can tell from the smoke billowing behind me. I'm just kidding. I think that's a house or something. Hopefully everyone's okay. Here's the post-run recovery meal. Some asparagus, salmon, and egg bites. And then we gotta go with the daily smoothie.
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies.
All right, I'm back at the hospital. It's night 2 out of 5. We're not admitting tonight. We're just covering floor calls. So hopefully it's a quiet night. I definitely sacrificed some sleep so that I could do that run earlier. And I don't regret it, but I do wish I had started my run a little bit sooner because I am a little tired. But I got my Viet iced coffee right here to wake me up. Let's have a good night.
Dinner, we got a salad with grilled chicken and an assortment of dressings. And Divya has
chicken tendies and fries.
nice. Morning, guys. It's about 6:45. I am printing out the sign out summaries to sign out with the day teams. I did like no vlogging last night because it was super uneventful. I barely got any calls from the floor. I actually managed to take a nap, get a small workout in. I even did a little stretching session. Not a bad night. Alright guys, I'm home and I just made myself a little smoothie. Smoothies like this paired with some sort of protein shake is like my go-to recovery drink after I get a workout in. Speaking of working out, I am very fortunate to go to a residency program that has a gym in our lounge. I can't emphasize enough how big of a deal that is for maintaining exercise and physical activity during residency. And what's made that even easier is having my own personal trainers with Ladder, who's actually sponsoring this week's vlog. Ladder is a strength training app that actually gives you workout plans. It's like having a personal trainer in your pocket, but it's on your own time and without all the ridiculous costs. Every single week, you get structured workouts tailored to your goals by an expert trainer. Whether you want to build muscle, get bigger, or just generally get in better shape, Ladder has a plan for you. Now, Ladder is not just a workout library or a bunch of like influencer workout challenges. Their workouts all follow progressive overload, so they build on each other week after week. They're not just random exercises, you're actually following a plan that's built to make you stronger over time. Doesn't matter if you want to work out at home or at the gym, whether you're into bodybuilding, strength and conditioning, kettlebells, or Pilates, Ladder has a coach and a plan for you. Like I said, the last time I worked with Ladder, this is perfect for a resident like me who really doesn't want to have to think about their workout plan. And my schedule is crazy, so it's so nice to just have an app that I can pull out whenever I have time for a workout. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of having something routine. In fact, when you sign up for Ladder, you actually take a personalized quiz to see how they can help you achieve your goals. So for example, when I'm working out at the hospital, I'm way more limited in the equipment that I have access to compared to an actual gym, but I can put that equipment into the app, so I'm only getting plans based on the equipment that I have access to. So again, it feels a lot more personalized to me. So the best part is that you guys can actually try Ladder completely free for 7 days. There is no credit card required, which I think is amazing. I hate signing up for free trials of things, but they require you to put your credit card information in. But again, with Ladder, you can take your quiz, get a plan, start training, no strings attached. So if you're ready to stop guessing and actually train with the plan, make sure to check out Ladder. I'll have the link in the description below, or you can click the QR code here on the screen. Make sure to check them out, and thank you so much again to Ladder for sponsoring this week's vlog. All right, I'm gonna finish my smoothie and head to bed, so I'll see you guys tonight. Good morning, guys.
You see the rain chip?
I love the rain. I love the overcast. But now I have to wash my car when I get off work tomorrow. Let's go. All right, it's Wednesday night, which means we are admitting, as well as, of course, covering the floors. Hopefully, it's not too busy of an admission shift. Let's get it. Time for a morning workout. We got that treadmill, and our program got us a new treadmill and a rowing machine, which we don't know how to use, so we're not going to use it. But yeah, 2 treadmills. Pretty cool.
All right, guys, I am done for the night. It was pretty busy with our admits. We got a decent amount of them, so we were pretty preoccupied for most of the shift. It was a nice range of patients though, which keeps it really interesting. So one of the patients I admitted was actually transferred here from another hospital in another state in order to be seen by a physician in a certain specialty that the hospital that they initially went to did not have. I'm sharing this because I actually think it's something that a lot of people don't know. It's that not every single hospital has every single type of specialist available or on call at any given time. Most of the time, your big academic programs and university centers are going to have most specialists like around the clock, but you have to think that there are a lot of smaller community hospitals, you know, in smaller towns that don't necessarily have access to specialties like, you know, urology, gastroenterology. And so when a patient comes in and their workup is concerning for something that they need a particular specialist for that the hospital doesn't have, they need to transfer to another center. We see that a lot like within our own city, right? But I think people don't realize that that even happens from like state to state. So for example, being in Vegas, we're actually very close to Arizona, and we are actually closer for some patients than other hospitals in Arizona. One of the reasons I'm really excited to be going to UCSD to continue my residency training is because UCSD is one of those centers that gets a lot of complex cases. It doesn't make a hospital bad if they cannot provide the services that the patient needs. They just need to acknowledge that they can't provide them and then know where they can send the patient so that that patient can get optimal care. I thought this would be a really interesting kind of teaching point, because I think a lot of patients go to the hospital and they expect that whatever the problem is, that hospital will be able to take care of it. But again, that's not always the case. These are considerations to make if you plan on living, say, in a small town that has a much smaller hospital. You are going to have to keep that in mind in case you ever get sick. Anyway, that's my teaching point for the morning. It's about 7:30. I have some time to kill because I have a research meeting at 11:30, which kind of sucks because it's like right in the middle of my day. So I'm gonna just stay up for it. That's the time that's most convenient for everyone else that has to be at this meeting. I'm pretty much the only person that it's inconvenience for. So, you know, I can't complain. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll catch you guys in a little bit.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to, you may want to change your side. Cotton is really bad for this.
All right, so I have my research meeting in like 20 minutes. In the meantime, I decided to treat myself a little today. So like I keep saying, I'm training for my first ever marathon, and it's coming up in like 4 weeks. So I thought it would be a good idea to treat myself to some new running shoes, because the ones that I've been running in and I've done my 2 half marathons in, they're like 3 years old. And I was running the other day and I kind of like became very aware of the fact that they're getting worn and a lot less comfortable. And I've been seeing a lot of like running TikToks. Then I realized I think I need new shoes for this marathon, because I don't think mine are going to be very comfortable to do 26.2 miles in. So I got myself the New Balance Fresh Foam 1080s. They were recommended by a friend and I tried them on, ran on the treadmill in them, and I like them. So it's a little bit of a gift to myself, just for, you know, working hard and also training hard for this marathon. One of my philosophies is there's no point in doing all of this if you're not treating yourself. You know, what's the point of making money if you're not gonna spend a little bit on yourself every now and then? Do I spend a little bit more than I should? Yeah, probably. But I feel like something like this, things for exercise and health, I think are totally worth spending money on. Like, that is something you should not cheap out on. And I think I've been cheaping out a little bit on my running gear. So very excited about these new pickups. I might actually even buy another pair of shoes. I was really interested in the Nova Blast 5s from Asics, but they didn't have the color that I liked. So even though I got these, I might even get another pair, which I heard you should rotate your shoes anyways. So I don't know. These are things I'm going to be using, like, you know, for a while, right? Like, I think I'm going to keep running after my first marathon just for health. Like, when I move to San Diego, I think I'm going to probably join a run club or something. So figured this is a good thing to spend your money on. It's probably just me coping a little bit though. Anyway, gotta get home for my meeting. I'll catch you guys later tonight. Morning, guys. It's night 4 out of 5. Let's go to work. All right, so it is Thursday. Both day teams had didactics, so they did not admit today. So we're basically just covering floor call. We're not admitting, so hopefully it's a chill night. Got the new running shoes to test on the treadmill. Ooh, I think we've earned it.
You know.
A little sweet treat. All right, guys, I am done with my shift. Had a handful of calls early on in the shift that we had to go to the floor for, but after that, super quiet night. I actually fell asleep towards the end of the shift and took a pretty good nap, which kind of sucks because I wanted to do a little bit more stuff. Like, I wanted to finish editing this vlog and I wanted to test out my new running shoes on the treadmill, both of which I did not do. So what I think I'm gonna do is go to the park and get a 5K in to test out the shoes, and then I'll go home and relax and get ready for tonight's last shift. It's so cold out here.
There's like an obnoxious breeze. Why did I choose this? Good morning, guys. It's night 5 out of 5, and tonight is my last night of being on Night Float. Let's get it. Bro, why do I think I'm gonna miss this? Like, I don't, love being here, right? Like, it's still a job, but I don't know. I think I've grown to really enjoy these nights compared to days. Let's see if I still say that after the end of tonight's admitting shift. All right, so the shift just started, but I already have an admission for a patient coming in with altered mental status. This is essentially any change in their mentation, cognition. Super common reason for patients to come to the hospital and be admitted. The differential is broad. It can be caused by anything from infection to stroke to, bleeding, hemorrhaging. The workup is usually pretty extensive. All right, just got another admission. Looks like appendicitis, so a lot of our recommendations are going to come from the general surgery team. They'll decide if they want to operate, but as the medicine team, we still manage the rest of their symptoms and their past medical history. All right, it's like 1:30 in the morning, and all I can think about is how much I'm craving Taco Bell. All right, little update. We ended up ordering Roberto's. Little treat for ourselves for making it through our month of Night Float. Gotta treat yourself. So good. All right, guys. That's it. I'm officially done with an entire month of working nights. When I initially started this rotation, one of my biggest concerns was the fact that for an entire month, I was going to be working while the world was asleep, and I was going to be sleeping while the world was awake. And for the most part, that was true. Like, I was working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. every single day, so obviously the world is asleep. But the other part of it was a little less true than I expected. For the first week, I was pretty good about going to sleep as soon as I got home, getting a good amount of sleep during the daylight hours, and being rested coming in from my shift at night. After that first week, I started to get a lot more lenient with how much sleep I was getting during the day. I started doing things like going on runs and exercising and, playing video games with some of my friends in the morning, my friends that don't work first thing in the morning. I would play video games until like noon with them. I started running errands, going to doctor's appointments, going and buying shoes, having research meetings. I think I overall was getting less sleep per day than I would have on a normal schedule, but I was willing to make that sacrifice because I really wanted to enjoy my daylight hours, as much as I could. I can probably only get away with it because I'm really only doing it for a short amount of time. I think that if I was working nights like all the time, like year round, then I don't know if I could get away with that. But I don't think most people who work nights are working this exact schedule year round, right? Like, if you're doing 3 or 4 days a week, I think you can get away with that. But 5 days a week, for longer than a month, I probably couldn't pull that off. But again, while I'm young and have the energy and I can kind of push through a little lack of sleep, I think it was okay. So I feel like I didn't overall miss out on as much as I thought. And then, I had my weekends, off, and it was hard to push through the sleep schedule on my days off, but I did it, and I got to enjoy doing things with my friends and family when I didn't have to work. Also, when I was doing that, I think I had a net positive amount of daylight hours because, if you work days and you're working in a hospital like, residents are, then you're actually not getting a lot of daylight because you're stuck indoors in the hospital. But when you work nights, you're working when it's dark anyway, and then when you're not working, it's when the sun is out. So you kind of actually have more power to spend more time in the sun, if that makes sense. And that's not really a way that I thought about it when the rotation started, but I started kind of thinking about that as the rotation went on, which is why, again, I started spending more of my time when I was home, not sleeping, because I wanted to enjoy the sunshine. Another concern that I had going into this rotation was just the increased amount of autonomy. I didn't have a senior, it was just me and my co-interns. And then, a lot of the time our attending was available, but, we're here. We're the ones who are here, unless we're admitting. This was the first block that really challenged how far I've come in residency
because up until now, if I needed something, there was always a senior around, or my attending, you know, was here and we were rounding during the day, and you could find out then. Like, there wasn't really a chance to be truly alone. So my threshold for, you know, asking questions was pretty low. But on nights, you know, if you really need something from someone else, you need to have like a slightly higher threshold, because you're going to either be waking them up or those people just aren't as available. So again, it really challenged me to consider what I know and what I'm comfortable with. And that was a concern going in. As the month went on, I realized I actually do know a lot, and there's a lot of things that I can actually handle just fine and, you know, answer and do on my own. And it really made me think about, okay, what do I need someone for? What do I need to call my attending for? And now I kind of know where that threshold is, and it's a lot higher than I thought it was when I came onto this rotation, which is a really good feeling. Like, I got through this month without a hitch. Things went well. My co-residents and I had a good time, and, you know, it just was fine. It was a lot more fine than I thought it was going to be. We had some stressful nights, of course, you can't help that, but I definitely feel a lot more confident in what I know. And I think what makes a good doctor is one that knows what they know, but also knows what they don't know. And this was the perfect opportunity to find that out. So yeah, overall, really good month. I am going to miss it. There's a piece about being at the hospital at night that I really enjoyed and really didn't think about going in, and I'm gonna miss that. I'll miss working with the co-residents I was with. They were a lot of fun. Sorry guys, I don't mean to get so emotional. I'm just kidding, I'm being dramatic, but I really did enjoy it. So coming up next, I'm actually going back to the ICU. If you guys remember my vlogs back in, gosh, November, early December, I did a month of the ICU, and that was probably my toughest month of residency so far. It's a very, you know, intense place to work, and that was a core rotation for me back then. This is actually now an elective. I switched my previous elective to ICU because I overall enjoyed my ICU rotation a lot, even though it was hard, and it was such a good learning opportunity and a good chance for me to get my hands dirty with procedures that I decided to go back. And so I start on Monday. Also, as an anesthesiology resident, I'm going to be doing a lot more ICU, especially once I move to my advanced program later this year. So it's just in my benefit to get as much ICU experience as I can before I go there. Anyway, that's it for now. I need to go do a long run today and edit this vlog, of course. So as always, I appreciate you guys joining me for another week in residency. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.